for everybody who watched the entire video, let's go ahead and do a styling trick real quick, and I'm going to show you how we can make these buttons, and it's super simple. How can we make these buttons next to each other? What's up? I'm Teacher Danny. In our last video, we learned how to put an image on a custom UI in Meta Horizon Worlds. This time, we're going to update that image so that way it has buttons on it, and we're going to click those buttons to be able to change it. Now, here's what we started with last time. Okay, it was just one image. This is a different image than we used last time, but that's all it is one image. What we want to do is we want to set it up so that way it has buttons. And see this one? All we did was we added 3 buttons to it, and you can change which picture it is. I know it's not pretty. We'll do pretty another time. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to use 2 things, pressables and bindings. Let's get to the code, my favorite part. We're just going to review this real quick, and then we'll get straight into it. How do we make the image? We imported these 4 things from Horizon UI. We added a panel width and panel height. We added an initialize UI, and it returned a view, and that view has children, and that children is just one view with an image in it. And so basically all of this is just for this one line of image. Now, this set of, see, it only has one child. The view that's being returned, it only has one. This view right here is its only child. So we're going to add a view to it. So at the end of this view, you can click there to kind of see where it ends. It's going to end at this bracket, curly bracket, parentheses, before the square bracket. Okay? Before the square bracket and after the parentheses. You have to have a comma there. Okay? Let me type in the comma just for sake. Okay. So we typed in the comma. Now we're going to make a new view. And this view is what's going to hold the buttons. All right, so let's just type button holder. All right. And what does every view have? Every view is going to have children. And we're going to put the pressables in here. Pressables are when I say buttons, I'm talking about pressables. That's what they call it in here. They call them pressables. So the first child of this will be a pressable. Now you see there's an error on pressable because that needs to be imported. Okay. And now there's no more error on pressable. Now pressable also has children. So children is just, children, colon, and then the square brackets. I hit enter to have some space in between. And in the children, we're going to put some text so that way the button says something on it. You can tell which button is which. All right. That's how I normally talk. All right, we're going to make text. Okay, that's one we haven't used before either, text. And see, it has an error just like pressable did. So what are we going to do? Great. Let's go back down to the text. It's still got an error because it wants some text. So we're going to write text in lowercase, and we'll go ahead and make it, image 1. And this is what's going to appear, and that's the text. Now after it, we can style it. Let's just hit a comma at the end of it, and then put in style. And for style, let's set the font size at 25, the color to black. And that should do it. And we'll give it a background color too. The style is, let's see, we said color, font size 25, color black. And the final one was background color. We'll go ahead and make that white. So that way the text will be, very visible. And you see color, this is something, you don't know it unless you know it, but color always refers to text background color refers to other stuff. All right. So here we go. We got our first pressable. Now this pressable has a child in it, right? And we're going to go ahead and style that child. So at the end of children, we're going to put comma at the end of the children within pressable. We're going to put a comma. Then we're going to add some style. Now, why do we have style on this and style on the image? Well, this is the style on the button that holds the image. Okay, and here we'll set some size. So let's make the width 120 and make the height, this is going to be each button, be like 60. And we're not going to use the background colors. We already got it. So that's it. I'm expecting now if I save it, Control S, it's saved. I'm going to go back down to the world, and it should have a button. It's still working. It's magic. It's compiling. And then when it does, it's going to have that button right there. Image 1. All right. I know it's not pretty. We're going to work on pretty some other time. Now back to our code. Let's switch up how we source this image. Okay. So right now it's hard coded. Every time this entire class is made, it's going to make the image be whatever is at this asset ID. Okay, the way I do images is you have to have it in your asset library. So it's always going to be like this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a binding, something changeable, and replace it in there. And this is how you make a binding. First, you give it a name, image binding, and then we're going to do equals, and it's going to be, it's not even familiar with what to do. It's giving me like, not wrong answers, but answers that we're not going to use. So new binding. Here's something a little unique. Where our comma is, we're going to hit shift and comma to hit that less than sign. Okay. And then we're going to hit the other one in a second to close it. But first we're going to write in what this is. So I closed it up with that one. Now I'm going to put a parentheses there. And within that parentheses, we're going to put this, all of this. So let's take the entire image and put it in there. And this is having an error because it still wants a source. So let's give it the source. Let's give it the image binding. And we do that by this dot image binding. And comma at the end, and there we go. Why is binding have an error on it? Probably because we need to import it. So now we're going to import binding into Horizon UI. So it'll be the same thing now. Now if we go to the picture, if we go to and look at the image, it'll be that same image before because it's the same image. But now it's just using the binding to tell it what it is. So we're going to go, now let's go back down to our pressables. Remember that second view has children, and we have our first pressable that we made. And then at the bottom, we added this on click here. See, waiting for bindings. Now we know exactly where to put it. So the way you change bindings is you don't use the equal sign like you do for variables. For this, you use .set, and I'll show you exactly what that is. So this .image binding .set, and then parentheses. Okay, that's it. That's how you change it. On click is going to do whatever function is written in here, and this is the function that's in there, and we set it to whatever we want to set it to. For us, it's an image, and we want to use this same format up here. So let's copy that format. Start at image source dot from extra texture asset all the way down to the comma. And if there's no comma, then it's to the second to last parentheses, okay? Not the last parentheses. Copy it, Control C. I'm gonna go back down and set it. Control V. Now, this is the image set from this asset ID, which is the same as the default asset ID in image binding. But picture 1 is going to be the same as the default. So we can leave it like that. Now, when we change it to picture 2, if we want to go back to picture 1, we'll be able to use this one because it already has this in it. Now, let's figure out where this pressable is, okay? Do this. I recommend you do this at least for this first time. So you have our first pressable. Right above it is a square bracket. Put a space in there, and let's put // and put a note. This is a pressable button. Sure. This is a pressable button. And let's find out where the end of this is. So later on, when we're copying and pasting, we know exactly what we're doing. Okay, so this is the pressable. So when we start copying and pasting, it's going to at least be from here. Let's find where the end of this is. So pressable, I'm going to hit this parentheses that starts it, and I'm going to find the box. See, here's the box. So all the way down to here, and which is right before this bracket. See, everything is in between those two brackets. This is the beginning bracket, starts the pressable button. This is the end bracket. So let's put another comment. Above is the end of the button. Now we're gonna take everything from in between those two. Okay, so this is a pressable button. We're gonna copy all that all the way down to above. Control C. Now we have, whatever the line is before this bracket, which would be like right here. I hope this note isn't confusing. But we're going to put it right here after this last parenthesis. And now we're just going to push Control V because we're going to put a whole new pressable in there. Now, we've got to put a comma. See, I'm actually kind of glad that there's an error because these little errors come up all the time. Sometimes you can spend hours when all you needed was a comma right there. So see, above is the end of the button. This is everything between those two. Now we made a new one. So where's the next one start? Above is the end of the button. So here's the pressable. Here's the pressable again. Now we know where it begins. Beginning of pressable. I'm not even going to worry about my misspellings here. Beginning of pressable 2 is right here. Where's this end? Let's find out. I'm going to click on this parens at the beginning. See the box that's highlighted, and this is where it ends. So right after it, I'm going to put above is the end of button 2. So now I'm going to take everything between. Well, I actually don't have to do everything. I don't have to copy this one because we already copied it before. Remember? So right after this last parenthesis, before the bracket of children, we're going to put in our third binding. All right, and again, that last parenthesis on the pressable is, I don't know why I said binding a second ago. This last one on the after, it also needs a comma. Okay, now we have it. We have 3 pressables, and we know where they begin, we know where they end. So I find the picture, then I copy it, copy to clipboard. Then we're going to go back into our code now that we copied the asset ID. And for picture number 2, or image 2, we're going to replace it. Okay, now, and there it is. So when button 2, the button that says image 2 on it, gets clicked, this function is going to happen, imagebinding.set. Now pressable 3. Same thing. Let's switch out this number. Let's get this image. Now we get this image. Copy. Let's copy the clipboard. We go back into our code. We're going to change button number 3's number, or asset ID. Control V. All right. Now this is it. I'm expecting it to work now. We have everything. Let's just do a quick run through. We imported a bunch of stuff, set up some sizes. We created an image binding, which is all this in the beginning plus the parentheses. And for this, it was a big thing in the parentheses. All right. We have our initialize UI. We return the first view. This view has children, like all views, and it only has 2 children, this view and this view. This first view has an image in it. This second view has 1. See, it's children. Let's click on its children. 1, 2, 3 pressables. Let's take a look at it. Make sure to save. Okay, I'm gonna hit Control S. Some people go up to File and Save, but it won't be updated in here unless you save it. All right, it's still compiling. Oh, there we go. Now look how it put the images, the image buttons, the pressables. That's the default, is to put everything in a column. All right, let's test it. See, image 2, and I'm gonna click image 3, and that's it. It's functional now. For everybody who watched the entire video, let's go ahead and do a styling trick real quick, and I'm gonna show you how we can make these buttons, and it's super simple. How can we make these buttons next to each other? All right, so we're gonna go back into the code. Let's look at that first view. That first view returns what? Children with 2 views. The first view has an image. The second view has 3 buttons, 3 pressables in its children. Each of those children, they're stacked vertically within this view. So let's find out where the end of this view is. Let's look at its children, actually. So not the view, we're gonna look at its children. We clicked the square bracket. We're gonna go down to where it ends. And all 3 pressables are within it, and here is where it ends. So what we're gonna do is you click right to the right of that, and we're gonna put a comma. And we're gonna add some style. So and we're gonna add something that's a little bit unique. So like I told you, it's defaulted to set up views in columns. We're gonna just change that. We're gonna use something called flex direction. And there's a bunch of different options. We're gonna choose row. Here's the different options, column. You can do column reverse to make it go upwards in a column, row reverse to start from the right and go left, but we're gonna use regular row. If it didn't just fill it out for you, just type in row within, quotation marks. And that's it. Now it's gonna work. You got our special cool styling trick. Let's check this out. It's compiling. And there we are, the 3 next to each other. Maybe you wouldn't want to, you could space them out with style. You could maybe make the middle one a different color than the 2 on the right, so that way it's easier to tell, but it's pretty easy to see what you want to click. And the style of this might not be important to you. You might just want to get the information across, but there's many ways to make all this look cooler. So yeah, check out all these inventions that I made. I got quizzes and games, things that are just displays that show things. See, this one cycles through pictures. It's going a little slow right now. I think it's because I'm in edit mode. I got tic-tac-toe and a calculator, a bunch of stuff. And, I can customize things. So hit me up, Teacher Danny, if you want to learn how to do any of this stuff, or if you want me to, make it for you, and you give me money. Teacher Danny out.